What's your forced to grow up too fast story? I was 12 when my mom broke her back falling off a ladder at work. One day I'm worried about middle school crushes. The next day I'm basically running our household. Mom was a single parent. My dad left when I was 8, so it was just me and her in our little apartment. She worked at the hardware store climbing ladders to stock high shelves. 20-foot fall onto concrete. The doctor said she'd walk again, but it would take months of physical therapy and bed rest. Workers' comp would cover some medical bills, but not our rent or groceries. I remember sitting in the hospital hallway while she slept, doing math in my head. Rent was $850. Utilities maybe $200. Food for 2 people for a month? I had no idea. Honey, we'll figure this out, she kept saying. But I could see the worry in her eyes every time bills came in the mail. The first week home from the hospital, I realized how much mom actually did. Laundry, dishes, grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning. I'd never even made scrambled eggs before. I burned everything I tried to cook. Our first grocery trip took me 3 hours because I didn't know where anything was or how to compare prices. I spent $40 on cereal and milk, thinking I was being smart. Mom tried to help from bed, calling out instructions while I stumbled around the kitchen, but she was on heavy pain medication and would fall asleep mid-sentence. After 2 weeks, our neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, knocked on our door. She was this 70-year-old retired teacher who lived next to us for years, but we barely talked to. "I've been watching you carry groceries upstairs by yourself," she said. "That's too much for a kid." She started teaching me how to actually cook, not just heating up frozen dinners, but real food. How to make spaghetti sauce from scratch, how to bake chicken, how to shop for a week's worth of meals on $30. More importantly, she taught me how to forge my mom's signature. "Sometimes adults need help from kids," she said matter-of-factly. "Your mama can't sign permission slips from bed." I started handling everything. Parent-teacher conferences over speakerphone with mom listening from bed, signing report cards, calling in sick when mom had doctor appointments. My grades started slipping because I was staying up until midnight doing laundry and meal prep for the next day. I'd fall asleep in math class because I'd been up at 5 a.m. making mom breakfast before school. The worst part was watching other kids complain about normal 12-year-old problems. Getting grounded, arguing about bedtime, wanting new video games. I wanted to scream, "Try paying electricity bills and doing physical therapy exercises with your mom every night." But I couldn't talk about it. If teachers found out I was basically living alone, they might call social services. If my friends knew how broke we were, I'd be the charity case. 4 months later, mom was finally walking with a cane. She could do light housework and cook simple meals. But something had changed between us. I'd seen the bills. I knew we were 3 months behind on rent. I knew she cried when she thought I couldn't hear. I knew exactly how much everything cost and how little money we actually had. The day she got clearance to return to work part-time, I found her in the kitchen making my favorite pancakes. "I'm sorry you had to grow up so fast, kiddo," she said without looking at me. "It's okay, mom." "No, it's not okay. You should have been playing video games and worrying about pop quizzes, not calculating grocery budgets." She was right. While my classmates were having sleepovers and playing sports, I was learning how to stretch ground beef for 3 meals and which bills to pay first when money was tight. But here's the thing nobody tells you about growing up too fast. You don't just go back to being a kid when things get better. I kept handling our budget. I kept doing most of the cooking. I kept signing my own permission slips out of habit. Even now, 20 years later, I automatically calculate the cost per ounce when I'm grocery shopping. I can stretch any meal to feed twice as many people. I know exactly how much money is in my checking account at any given moment. My friends think I'm naturally responsible and organized. They don't know I learned those skills at 12 because I had to. Mom's back is fine now. She remarried a great guy when I was in college. They have a nice house and never worry about money, but sometimes she still apologizes for that year. She thinks she failed me somehow. I tell her she's wrong. She taught me that when life hits you hard, you don't give up. You figure it out. You take care of the people you love. That's not failure. That's just family.